although the customer hasn't told us directly that they're annoyed with us. I'm beginning to pick up on the signs. Hello everybody, I hope you're well. Allow me to start, if you will, with a story. About 4 months ago, another YouTube channel that will remain nameless made a video on why you should never put a top deck on a warm deck roof. And to prove his point, he used clips from our videos and used that as a template as to what not to do. And we've done it completely wrong. And he said, am I going mad? It's all these people doing this, look at this, look at what they're doing wrong, all that kind of stuff. Well, I didn't take quite kindly to that, simply because he was lying in his video in order to fit his own narrative. So I got in contact with him via the comment section. There's a bit of back and forth for a little while until I said, well, you know, as an apology for lying, maybe you should donate to our Birmingham Children's Hospital fundraising campaign. To which point, radio silence, doing nothing for the north of the border stereotype, but there we go. And if you're unsure of who it is, it looks a bit like if Ken Bruce had a love child with a monkey nut. Anyway, what do? Do we retaliate? Do we do another video? No, we'll bide our time until we do a warm deck roof. Well, guess what? Today is the day. We have done it, and we've put the top deck on, and we're going to explain to you exactly why this is the correct thing to do and how that video was completely wrong in his science, in his thinking, in whatever it is he thought you shouldn't do this kind of roof. You can do it. We're going to go into every single component of the structure of it, on the layers and all costings, and we're going to finally put this debate to bed on whether or not you can or cannot put a top deck on a warm deck roof. Right, to start all this, we need to start with the roof itself. And this is it, said roof, and it's going to be far easier to build the thing and then talk about it. We'll just show you what we've done just to make our life a little bit easier. This is what I put up at the end of last week's episode. Just clamped and screwed a bit of timber at the bottom of our plate there, just to create a ledge, just for it to stick on, just for ease. Right then, let's give it a go, shall we? Can you see me? Yeah. Hello. Right, we're just about to put our last load of nails in. I'm going to these joist hangers, or are they rafter hangers, Michael? Do we care?
I think they're flat roof joist hangers, apparently.
We've got a PPN nailer, but you've got to use these twist nails anyway with these joist hangers. These screws are just to get it in place, just while we're messing around with it. Now you obviously don't need a big expensive PPN nailer. You can just nail them in individually, not a problem. But if you're going to do that, I do suggest that you still buy the collated nails. Obviously they're a bit more expensive, simply because you've seen this trick a million times, I know you have, but you can just twist it 90 degrees and use that like that, and then get your fingers out of the way and nail them in one by one and do it that way. So I suggest you do that just to save your thumbnails. But there's no thumbnails will be harmed today, because I got this bad boy, and I'll just show you how easy this is. Easy, isn't it? Just make sure you wear your headphones, eye protection, because that could hit anything and bounce straight out. But yeah, but you've got to fill every single hole that you can. There's no point doing it there, because that's in the webbing of this joist here. So bend it over, use those two as well, fill every single one that you can. Job done. Right then, we'll turn you around and we'll give it a great reveal up from the scaffold. Well, there we have it. That's the main structure complete. Not bad for a brickie and an aluminous person. There we have it. Tell me you're not a carpenter without telling me you're not a carpenter. Look at them Robin using. Well, they all go in the same way, don't they? So there we have it. There's not a fat lot more to say about this, really. I will go into a bit more detail at the end of the video, and I'll tell you where I got this from, how you can order yours if it's something that you're interested in, the pros, the cons of this system. Not that there's many cons, to be honest with you, probably just the price difference. But we'll go into all that a little bit later on. But that's phase one of this stage, stage one of this roof done. Furring strips now, and we'll start making it into a warm deck. Well, there we have it, stage 1 and 2 of a warm deck complete. First stage being, as you may have seen from the time lapse, 11mm OSB across the entire lot, and all that is doing is creating a lovely base to put your vapor barrier down. Now I'll put the brand of this vapor barrier on screen now. I keep forgetting what it is, and as I said earlier, all costings, how much it all is, I'll tell you at the end of the video. But there we have it. It's typical, isn't it? As soon as you start rolling that out, the wind picks up, and it can to be a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. But the main thing is, on a warm deck, you need a perimeter all the way around your insulation, which is why we've got this 6x2 on the front here. It's got to sit in something. You need the vapor barrier to go up the perimeter, so your insulation goes into the vapor barrier. It's got to be completely encapsulated. I say completely, not the top. The sides and the bottom of your insulation needs to be on the vapor barrier, as it is now. Well, it will be. Yeah, that's tomorrow's task. So we'll skip forward to that then, and we'll see if we can get this job finished. Stage 3 complete, 150mm of PIR insulation as per the regs, 2025 as they stand, and all taped up, every single joint all the way around. And in the process of starting the 4th and final stage, top deck, the controversial top deck, we'll go into that a little bit later on, 18mm with thermally broken fixings. So we'll get that done, and then we'll show the finished results. Excellent. 100% ready for the roofer, and about 98% done in terms of thermal efficiency. I've still got to insulate the upstand, and very importantly, insulating between the rafters on the front edge. PIR in between, foamed in, packed in, completely sealed. That's the whole point with these top of roofs. They've got to be completely sealed. But apart from that, they're rainy day jobs, those are. Apart from that, we're done. And this 18mm deck on top is fixed down with these firmly broken fixings. Very important. Now, yes, they are raised above, so they do leave a little bit of a dome. So you've got to get it all nice and straight, which Lee and Kai have done, and all 90 degrees to each other, just so with your chosen roof covering, when it goes over, if they are visible, depending on what you're using, they're nice and uniform. But but you can't get away from it. You could countersink them, but you're taking a fair bit of meat out of the OSB in order to do so, and I don't like it. So you can if you want to, but I'm not going to do it. So there we go. Right then, let's have a quick chat then about where I got these rafters from and why I've chosen the company that I have, and we'll go into detail about what this warm deck is and all the costs included. Right then, where did I get them from? A place called Minera, based in Wrexham, I believe, and I used them simply because I randomly used them when I used these at my house a couple of years ago, and they were just really easy to work with. When they're getting paid for this, by the way, there's loads of companies that do this, and there's one local to you, by all means use them, but I really like using them because I'm not quite sure what I was doing when I did my house, how they came, what they did, and they were just so easy to talk to and to go through, and you can send them your own little sketches and run past them your own ideas, and they'll just manufacture basically whatever you want. And this is it, it all comes as a kit form. We did send them the architect's drawings, apart from the fact that they would have been wrong because we've moved this skylight back further towards the house in order to let more light in to the original house. So if they did them off those drawings, the skylight would be further forward, not what the customer wanted. So I do a little sketch myself, and it was all accommodated for. You can even get little pieces of timber made onto the end of them. So if you're unsure of the sizes and prefer to cut them on site, you can do that with a little sacrificial piece. But obviously you can't cut them if you don't have that on. They are what they're supposed to be as they come. As I say, as a kit form, you get absolutely everything with them. All the joist hangers, all the fixings for the joist hangers, you get all the plans, and above all that, they have a promise of delivering to your site within 5 working days of the order, which is fantastic, isn't it? You know what I mean? That means the job can really keep going, and you can order them at the last bit. You can get everything ready first, and then it just flows. It's ace. I really do like it. You've just got to remember that there's an upside down to them. You want the metal bit to be on the top in the far corners. I'll put a picture on screen now with a couple of arrows. If you have it the other way around, they're upside down, not designed to take the load like that. But there we go. They also do roof trusses and all that kind of stuff. So pros and cons then. Cons, they're more expensive. I don't know how much this would have been just to use normal timber, but what you can see here was just over 1,300 quid. Again, that's delivered VAT, the lot. I've gone for untreated. You can have them treated if you want to, but I didn't see it as necessary. Certainly it's not a building regulation. So that's really the only con. The pros, me and Mick built it in, I don't know, 2.5 hours, I think it was. There's all your trades that come in now, your plumbers, your electricians. There's no drilling. They just pass straight through. Whatever money the difference between normal timber and these are, you'll make that back in terms of the labour for other trades and the ease of actually doing it. It's a no-brainer for me, it really is. Plus these can span, I think it's up to 12 metres or something. So it's any issues that you've got, you want to go that extra bit further with your extension, and you know, you don't have to have these big huge steels. I think they're the way forward, I really do. So yeah, can't recommend them enough. But there you have it. Right then, let's talk about this much mooted warm deck. Right then, so what is a warm roof exactly? It is a fully sealed, insulated slab on top of your flat roof structure. There's a warm roof, this, and there's a cold roof, which is ventilated. Warm roofs are unventilated. That's very important. You can't have any airflow in this structure at all. It's completely detrimental to the whole point. Cold roof, you need continuous airflow, and it's very difficult to do once you start putting roof windows in, but I find warm roofs are more thermally efficient anyway, and they are a lot easier, especially when it comes to your roof windows. So this is the structure then, as we've got here, and it's very crude makeup that I've got. We have got this piece of timber. This symbolises your roof, your rafter, right? And on top of that, forget about the furring strips for now. On top of that, we've done our 11mm OSB. Use 18 if you want, completely unnecessary. We're not building a floor here, we're building just a simple deck in order to put your vapour barrier on. That's very important vapour barrier. The reason why you use this, I'll go into a little bit later on, but you need this on, you need it completely covered. You've got to imagine it as a lining for a swimming pool, and you've got to get it completely sealed all the way around, not only on the deck itself, but on the upstand. You need an upstand around the entire perimeter for your insulation to sit into. Overlap it at least 50mm, go around the corners over and over again. I haven't used a primer in this, you don't need to, it's that sticky, especially this time of year. A heat gun, because it's bitumen based, will heat it up, it will stick to anything. You can get a primer, use that if you want to, we haven't needed it here. On top of that then, you've got your 150mm PIR insulation, which is the regs, and on top of that, 18mm, this is 11 demonstration purposes. We've got 18mm deck, and it's fixed through with firmly broken fixings. The head of this screw is there. As you can see, it's well within the insulation. The idea with that is that if you were to use just normal 200mm screws or straight the way down, all these, let's say there's 200 in here as well, that's 200 metal conductors that you've put into the room side of the roof, taking it straight the way up to the planet Earth side of the roof, if you know what I mean. Straight to the outside is the word that I'm after. So the heat from the room can conduct up those fixings straight up and start to condensate and cause problems on your roof deck up here. By doing this, the metal stops there, the heat can only go as far up to that point, at which point it's in the insulation, and with your dew point then will be within here. Now, also what we've done, we haven't screwed down into the 11mm deck, the lower deck. We've made sure, which is why they're all regimental, these lines of firmly broken fixings, we've made sure that they go into the joist. Again, it's to seal it all up so we haven't got any screw heads poking through that can cause that little bit of heat loss. So why is it controversial then? I mean, it just sounds easy, doesn't it? Well, the reason why people think, and that gentleman who did that video, people think that this is wrong, is because they think that if you've done all this, even though you've done all this, the moisture, the vapour from the room below can travel through the plasterboard, through the void, through the 11mm deck, through your really expensive super duper vapour barrier, through the foil of your insulation, through 150mm of PIR, through the top deck, the top foil, and then just sit there and rot the top deck. You think that much water is going to come through and just sit there and start to rot it? Just think about that for a second. This, below this, it's a domestic property. It's a dining room that's got doors leading off into the other parts of the house, that's got windows and doors leading onto the outside, that is completely insulated all the way around. How on earth is that much water going to travel through all this, sit on that deck, and then start to rot the top deck? It is an absolute nonsense. If it was a swimming pool down there, maybe we'll have to do something else. If it was anything commercial, industrial, it's a domestic property. So let's not worry about it. It's just not going to happen, is it? So but their alternative is you don't use the foil back to use the insulation, you've got like a matting on top, and then you do your roof covering straight on top of your insulation using these fixings. So then you've just got to walk on that, basically, if ever you need to get up here for whatever reason. Fiberglass, is every single fiberglass roof wrong? Because it's all got to go onto the deck. You can't fiberglass straight into insulation, no matter what type you use. You need this deck on it. It's an absolute nonsense. Just think about it. How is it ever going to happen? Now, if I'm wrong and you think you're right, that's fine. But I'm going to need you to prove it. Send me comparisons to what you found online or maybe your own personal house. But it's got to be like for like. The roof that you've taken off and it's rotting and you put down to vapour coming up, it needs to be built to the same standard as this, with the same standard of vapour barrier laid to the exact same standard as this. Firmly broken fixings need to be used, screwed straight into the rafters, not straight through into the deck. It needs to be apples for apples, the comparisons. You need to prove it to me that this is wrong. Not just what makes sense in your head, that's irrelevant. It's what you can actually prove. It's not going to happen. All right? So let's just put that to bed now. So if your builder has done this and you've watched his video, as my customer did last week, and they come out and go, oh, I've just seen a video and it's using your images and it's saying that you're doing it wrong. That's how damaging things, misinformation can be. You need to show them, put them in the direction of this video and tell them it's not going to happen. It just won't. Now, in terms of, we'll move on from that. In terms of costings then, let you know what I got from. 11mm OSB I got from £12.50 a sheet. 80mm OSB I get for £15 a sheet. All of those from R&M plywood in Oldbury. I'll put a link to the description in the a link in the description, I should say. And PIR I get from Minster in Oldbury. I don't go anywhere else for my my installation. That is £47.10. All this is including VAT and delivered, by the way. £47.10 a sheet. The foil tape was a £5 from Screwfix, a roll. The joists that we've gone through and the firmly broken fixings are about 50 quid from, I did write that down. That is, I'll put it on screen now where I got them from, but yeah, they're 50 quid a box and I've used 2 boxes, so £100 for that. It can mount up, it's expensive, but it's worth it because this is as firmly efficient a flat roof as you can possibly get, and you won't have any problems with it. If there's any problems with this, it's from the roof covering down. It's not from this magical 100 litres a day of vapour that's going up and sitting on it. It will not happen. But in terms of the vapour barrier, if I say it right, Atrix 600 is the famous one. This is an alternative. Just to go through some numbers with you, the cheapest I could get the Atrix 600 for 40 metres, that's 2 20-metre rolls, is £317.99. Next place was £349, next place was £377.52. Delivered, that is, to be fair. Now, this is a cheaper one. This is called, I've got it written there, and again I'll put it on screen because I do keep forgetting it. Strata, is it? I've used Atrix 600 and I've used this stuff. It is exactly the same, trust me. It just hasn't got Atrix 600 written on it. It's the same thickness, it's as sticky as it, it's as foil backed, it is just as good. And I got it for £50 cheaper, 250 quid for the amount that I need from Chandler's Roofing Supply. So by all means, get in touch with them if you're going for that. Don't use that Atrix thing. It's unnecessarily expensive if you can get this stuff, which is a decent alternative, trust me. So yeah, so that's that. Rant over. Apologies for that, but I felt strongly that it needs to be put to bed. This does, because I don't want customers, future customers, watching that video thinking, "Oh no, you're doing it wrong." We're not. This is perfect. This is great. Enough said. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, have a great afternoon. I don't know what to say now. Right, then. Take care.
He's on the moon.